Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. What if I start opening the shows with a quote, but don't tell you who said it? And then you can go to a social media somewhere, and I don't care where, and comment who said it, like put the quote and who said it, and I will do something. We'll do something with it. What do you want to do with it? The world is our oyster. I will mail you a sticker or give you a discount code on something. What do you want? What do you want? Merry Christmas. I'm Santa. As long as the price of which is on par with that which I've already offered, because there's a lot of you beautiful alchemists. So, you know, last week we talked about New Year's resolutions and how to set a proper goal for our quote-unquote New Year's resolutions. So figuring out what you actually want is still the homework, but it's going to take you longer than you probably think to really figure it out. Or maybe you're very self-aware and you're like, actually, Savannah, I've been trying to do this and I don't know. I can't seem to figure it out. And you know what? Yeah, it takes a long time. So as with anything else, if it's stressful and overwhelming, let it go for a little bit. Let it go. Put it on the back burner. Set it to the side. Create some space. Take a breather. Deep belly breaths. Relax the face and shoulders. It's fine. You'll get back to it. Consistency is not something that we do. It is something that we do every day. But, you know, I've talked about this 1,000 times that we can't be consistent. There's no such thing as true consistency. Life is waves. It goes up, it goes down, and sometimes it goes really high up, and sometimes it goes really low down, and sometimes it hangs out in the middle, but it's almost never the same distance, backwards and forwards. It's just up and down at varying degrees, and that means that as long as we want to, we can come back to it. And as long as we do come back to it, eventually at some point, we are being consistent. So it's okay to set it down for a week, a month, a year. As long as you come back to it and try and actively try to circle back around to it and pick it back up, you're doing a great job, okay? Pat yourself on the back. So, as humans, we're really bad about having the mindset and belief system that grand lives come from grand gestures. And there's a story that you may have heard me tell before where a monk walks into like a college classroom or a high school classroom or some sort of classroom and writes on the board, everybody wants to save the world, but nobody wants to help mom with the dishes. And the moral of the story is that very few people are going to have the opportunity to run into a burning building and rescue some orphans. But each and every one of us encounter small things every single day that we could make really good choices with and choose kindness and love and productivity and healthy boundaries and habits and kindness and all the things, all the good things in the world. Every single day we encounter small things where we could do this. And that's exactly how we change the world. We change our lives, one small habit at a time, one small choice. The big things in our life stick out, but it's the little things that happen more often. And there's essentially many more bricks in the building that is our life rather than boulders or faucets. Or is faucets a better analogy for boulders? Because you don't really use boulders to build a house, but you do have several faucets anyway. You turn them on and they just keep going. Anyway, we can't really control too terribly much the big things that happen in our lives, but we can control the little things in between. And there's many more of the little things than there are the big things. So that's good. That's good news. We have more control than we don't. But we're so used to these little things that we overlook them. We don't pay them any attention. We don't pay them any importance. They're mundane to us. But the magic is in the mundane, okay? If you can figure out how to feel sparkly and magical and fabulous while you're washing your dishes or doing your laundry, then you've made it to the top. Because regardless of what everything else looks like in your life, the basics of survival still need to be done. Chop wood, carry water. There's if you're not familiar with that statement, there's like some kind of monk, something or another, and they're what's after enlightenment, and he was like, before enlightenment, we chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, we chop wood and carry water. You still got to chop wood and carry water. You still got to do your laundry. You still got to do your dishes. You still got to take out the trash. You still got to sweep the floors. And if you can figure out how to be doing things like that happily, then that's where you've made it. You've made it. You're at the top. And I don't mean top like riches and success and glory. And it depends on your definition of success. And one day you may make it to where you can pay somebody to do these things for you. But in the meantime, between now and then, if you got to figure out how to just be here doing it. And this can translate across all of the things: how you eat, how you exercise, or just move your body. Let's not get scared of the word exercise, because some people definitely do. How you shop, how you interact with people, both close to you and not close to you, how you interact with your money situation and your job, or, literally whatever, yourself. These little small things, these little mundane things, they're our habits. They are our habits, and the magic is in them. That's what creates us brick by brick. That's what has created us brick by brick from, birth to this point, is little itty bitty things every single day. And when you're a child, you don't really get to choose those things a whole lot, your habits and your routines and your schedules and all of that. For the most part, you just kind of adopt whatever your families are, your cultures are, society, your people at school, or whatever. But now that you're an adult, yay, we finally became a big kid or grown up. We can finally do all the things that we want to do, even if it seems like we can't. We totally can. It just may be varying degrees of difficulties, but it's possible. And it starts in our habits. It starts in our routines and in our schedules. And some of us are going to have an easier time with that. Some of us are going to have an impossible time with that. And that just kind of is what it is. We have what we have to work with until we get new cards or different cards or upgrade the cards that we have. But as with anything, things get easier the more you practice them. How many push-ups can you do right now? Are they hard? What about plank? How long can you hold that? It may be hard at first, but if you just keep on and keep on and keep on, it does eventually become easier. And that's the same thing with everything. Everything is hard until it becomes easy, until it becomes second nature. There's 4 steps in creating a habit. Unconscious incompetence. So if you have never seen a pair of shoes in your life, you have no idea that you don't know how to tie your shoes. So that's the first step. You don't know what you don't know. Next, though, is conscious incompetence. Now we know that shoes exist, and we know that you are supposed to tie your shoes, but we still don't know how to tie our shoes. But now we know that there is something that we don't know. And then the third step is conscious competence. So we've been practicing, we've started doing it. Now we know how to do it, but we still have to really think about how to do it. We have to like remember how what comes next, okay? And it's a little bit of effort. But the final step is unconscious competence. Now you just slap them shoes on your feet and you tie them and you go. You don't think nothing about it. You're off in a completely other mental state. Don't even realize that you have a shoe in your hand because you're thinking about where you're headed, and you just tie it and you go. So the same way you learned how to tie your shoe in this order is the same way that you learn how to change your eating habits. How do you change your movement habits? How you change interacting with people, or your self-talk, your mental state self-talk. And at first it takes a lot of work to be more patient and calm and pause and take a breath before just reacting. And at first it takes a lot of effort to notice your inner thoughts and dialogue, and that they're not helpful, and that they're making things worse, and that they're influencing your mental and emotional state. And then you gotta flip that around and turn it on its tracks and get it going in a positive, more helpful direction. Everything, it doesn't matter what habit we're trying to create, this is the process we go through. So don't let it be intimidating. Yes, some things are going to be a little bit more challenging than others. Some things are going to be a lot easier than those ones. It's fine. The variety is what keeps things interesting. And the greater the gold on the other side, the treasure, the final, you got there, you made it, the harder the journey's kind of going to be usually, but, the more worth it is. And it's fine. Remember, we're here until we're not. We woke up today and we're still breathing. Here we go again. Another day on Earth. What else are we going to do with our time here? All right, so enough of the pep talk. How do we actually put these things into practice? Because saying just do it is all fine and dandy, but okay, so we've been trying to figure out what our goals are, right? And we're not focusing on what we think our goals are. We're looking at the underlying feelings, emotions, vibrations of what we want, and ignoring what we think is going to get us that. So we're focusing on the emotions, the feelings, the vibrations. All right, so maybe sit down with your notebook, your journal, whatever, or just pause this and think, what words go with those emotions? Is it peaceful? Is it divine, powerful, connected, magical, confident? What are the words that we can associate with our goals of these emotions, these feelings? This is kind of like there's been a trend the past few years of, instead of making New Year's resolutions, people were picking a word to describe the year. So they're picking a word that'll describe how they want to feel that year, the types of energies they want to bring in that year. This is the same thing. Write them down. Get really familiar with them. And that's why it's really good to only pick like 1 to 3 so that you can hold them close and not get them confused, so that when you're faced with decisions or different paths in front of you, you can come back to these words and be like, okay, which one aligns with this? Which one aligns with my word, with my goal? The feelings that I'm trying to feel, the energy and the vibrations of the reality that I'm trying to step into. And remember, it's not necessarily a big thing. It's not necessarily something that you're even going to notice. And that's why awareness is always the hardest part. And hyper-awareness of one's self is always, always, always what it comes back to. Because we're not necessarily talking about big things. We're not talking about this house or that house. Which one do we buy? What country do we move to? It's nothing like that. It's instead the pathways that we're faced with every single day. Do I drink a cup of coffee, or do I drink some water? Do I go play pickleball, or do I sit on the couch and watch a show for 3 hours? And that's a trick question. Sometimes the right answer is the show. Sometimes it's not always go to play pickleball. That's for you to decide what the energy of each is in that specific moment, because the energy of each changes. Sometimes the energy is not good over here, and then later in a couple of days it is good over here, and that's the decision that we want to make. That's for you to decide based on the words that you pick and the energies you want to your new reality to have. Nobody can tell you what's best for you in each and every moment but you. But most of us are operating here at a subconscious level. We're just going with the motions of our programming, which is whatever we have been accustomed to, whatever habit we've set. We're unconsciously competent in all of the habits in our lives. So we're trying to change those habits, which means that we're consciously incompetent. But a lot of the times we're unconsciously incompetent. We are not aware that we're making these same choices over and over again that have created the reality that we are currently standing in. That's where the work is. The work is trying to figure out where we're going not quite right and how to choose something different to where we're going better. The magic is in the mundane, but the magic's in us as well, and we can choose to make the mundane magical. So when you take a mundane task like folding laundry and you make it magical in a way that speaks to you and works for you, and this can be something as simple as holding on to gratitude while you're folding your clothes. I'm so thankful that I have this nice sweater. I'm so thankful that my kid has this nice sweater, so they look nice and it keeps them warm, and I'm just so happy and so thankful about that. That is a ritual. When you pour your coffee in the morning, if that's what you do, imagine as you fill your cup, you're filling up your day full of good energy. Maybe you can repeat your words in your head or out loud. If you stir some sugar in your coffee, I drink mine black. And there's no reason you needed to know that. It just kind of came out of my mouth before I realized it. But if you stir sugar into your coffee, you can tell yourself you can stir clockwise to gain things. You're like, I want to stir clockwise, bring peace into my life today. I'm going to be productive today. And then stir counterclockwise, and you're like, I banish all negativity and laziness today. Those are rituals. And they're helping program your subconscious into focusing on what you want it to focus on rather than what you would naturally focus on without thought, without the process. Your programming, what it would straight go to if you weren't intentionally inserting this positive energy, this peace, gratitude, productivity, whatever it is. And that's adding momentum to those things. And it's perpetuating those things instead of the other things. And then you'll naturally start noticing things that bring you those energies. You'll naturally start doing things that bring you those energies more and more often until it becomes unconsciously competent. Second nature. Now it's just who you are. You're always calm. You're always peaceful. You're always happy. Which is never an actual true destination, remember, because waves up and down. We're always going to come back down, but then we can come back up a little bit easier next time. Instead of getting stuck in the down, because that's what depression is, getting stuck in the down. So, how can we add these fun, magical thought experiences throughout our day to things that are already happening, things that we are already doing? This is how we get the other habits to stick. This is how we get that self-awareness all the time that we want, is remembering to make it magical, make it magical, make it magical. At first, it requires zero effort other than the thought processes, okay? So you're not changing your routine. You're not changing your schedule. You're not trying to cut out the things that are sabotaging you and hurting you and unhelpful, and you're not trying to add all of these new habits to hurry and create. Like, it's not an active process. It's just a thought process. Your reality outside you, externally, is created from your internal environment. So right now we're just working on the internal environment. These are similar to positive affirmations, but instead of just repeating a phrase in your head, it feels like you're actively doing something. It feels like you're actually creating a potion, a magic spell. You're waving your magic wand and Wingardium Leviosa-ing your mood and energy.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Make it fun. Try to have a good time anytime you can, okay? Life's too short to be unhappy. Party. Responsibly. So yeah, there you go. Make it your own. Look around, see where you can add magic to the things that you're already doing. We're just paying attention to what we're already doing, and we're taking that and sprucing it up a little bit, adding some sparkles, adding some glitter. And no one even has to know except for you. It's in your head. It's happening in your head. Or it's happening out loud, and it's fun for everyone. That's you. That's your decision. It's a process that I have used to absolutely enjoy life with my relationships, with my people. Everyone needs a little magic in their lives. You can create it, you can be it, and you can be it for other people as well. And everybody loves that. So let me know what your rituals are. Where's the magic? What are we doing? What kind of spells are we creating in our lives? What are they doing for us? You can come tell us in the Patreon or in the Facebook group. And until next week, I love you so much. Happy manifesting. Namaste.
Every single day, party's full of lights. 7 cups right through my face. Keep on dancing, fuck her every day.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for 50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow. It's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.